So the topics that we're going to be covering today are,
We're going to be talking about nutrition in relation to obesity and type 2 diabetes, exercise, dental care in relation to a periodontal disease, depression, activities geared towards the senior participant, breast health, elder abuse, osteoporosis, heart disease, and HIV and AIDS.
we're going to ask our printer to do the logo for our event and kind of see where they go with that when we give them the idea of what we're doing. The things that will need the logo on it will be our letterheads. And then probably some bags, some like canvas bags or cloth bags for our participants to carry their products in. Water bottles with a logo on them, and then we can have a water vendor come in so they can fill their bottles as needed. And then maybe some pens. And you had said that we're going to be doing some nutrition, correct?
Right.
So one of the other things that's going to be a cost for us is going to be the cups of fruit that we had discussed earlier. So I think that's a really good idea. During this 4-hour event, some people may get a little hungry, need a snack, have lower blood sugars. So, okay, so what vendors are we talking about bringing in with us?
For nutrition, I was thinking about bringing in a registered dietitian.
Okay, so somebody from maybe the health department or from UNCC. Dental care, do we have a dentist in the area that maybe specializes in periodontal care? Okay, well, Lauren, why don't you go ahead and take that and run with it and kind of see what you can find on that. Okay, depression. Depression is a huge problem with our senior population, and I think it's really important for us to make sure that we have handouts for families and for our participants who are elderly so that they can see the different side effects and understand that all symptoms are not just because they're getting older.
Yeah.
I would also like to get somebody from some of the mental health areas, either from the college or from some of the, maybe the health department or even possibly from CMC, to come and just, there are going to be families there that may need some assistance already. And once they get to this, they're going to see, oh, you know, yeah, we need to talk to somebody. Or they may come because they want to talk to somebody. So we need to make sure that resource is there. The other thing I was thinking with this is, depression is kind of a hard subject to talk about. It's kind of taboo, especially in the elderly population. They don't talk about that as much as some of the younger generations. So I was thinking about doing a spin the wheel, where you spin the wheel and it comes up, and maybe do symptoms, and then have that mental health specialist talk about, these symptoms. Are these normal symptoms? Are these symptoms of slowing down? Could they be symptoms of something else? Just to give some education. And maybe that's the time that we get the water bottles out.
Okay.
They spin the wheel, they talk about it, then they get a water bottle.
And that could be a way to pull them into if they see something that looks like a game or something to keep them interested. It'll be a way to make them come listen to what they have to say.
Next on our list is activities geared towards the senior participants. I was online, and the Mecklenburg County Parks and Rec does this website for seniors, and I went ahead and made a booklet out of the website, and it has all of the activities for the year, and it has the times, the dates, contact information, the cost if there's any cost. A lot of them are low to no cost. A lot of them are free.
Right, yeah.
So I thought that we could go ahead and put this into print.
Yeah.
I'll contact Parks and Rec prior to, but put it into print, and this will be one of the handouts that we have. And we could actually put this in our activities area if you wanted, or we could just have a booth with, things to do. Then we also have the, Charlotte Mecklenburg actually has 4 senior centers, not including the Levine Center. So there's the Tyvola Senior Center, North Meck Senior Center, Shamrock Senior Center, and Westside Senior Services Center. So they also have a website, and they have They do health and wellness, information counseling, multicultural issues, nutrition, retirement, and volunteers for seniors, and then senior employment services. So I thought we'd go ahead and do a flyer for them, or find out from them if they have a flyer that we can also utilize for that. Okay, next on our list is breast health. Do you have any ideas about?
Yeah, for that, we need to make sure we can bring in somebody, maybe from the Women's Breast Health Center. There's a woman there named Ruth. She can come in and give people ideas of, you know, if they're feeling something in their breast, ways to feel and make sure. But if there's any lumps, that could be cancer. And I think you had said something earlier about making sure their husbands are aware too, so they can help feel. Just to let them know that if there's any abnormalities in their breast, that it could be cancer and they need to get it checked out, and she could be there to talk to them about that.
Okay, I think it's really important to address the breast health, and I think that husbands are very interested in
Yeah.
keeping their women cancer-free. I think men are as worried about breast cancer
Right.
as women are. Next on our list is elder abuse. That's kind of a rough one to get into the public, so we're gonna have to
Yeah.
think of ways to bring our public into that booth. You know, we're really gonna have to kind of coerce them into that booth, because
Yeah.
people who are being abused normally don't wanna let you know that they're being abused,
Right.
because they feel shameful, it's their fault they're abused, and the abusers don't wanna go in there.
Yeah.
So, what kind of activity do you think we could do to bring them into the booth?
And maybe if you could have this kind of a skit thing going on, so it's kind of like you're watching maybe like a little play, but then you notice like the effects of the elder abuse as the skit goes along, and then maybe the elder can realize, like, because some may not know that they're even being abused. So maybe if they saw it, and then they could realize and then know that something's wrong, and then have somebody after the skit like talk about it, or talk about the problems that were going on, something like that.
Okay. Do you think maybe we could get one of the drama clubs involved in something like this? They have about
Yeah.
3 months to get it in. And then osteoporosis. Erin, what were you thinking on osteoporosis?
Okay, we could have someone from orthopedics, be there to talk about, you know, what to do to prevent osteoporosis, because I know there aren't really many visible signs for it, so you won't really necessarily know. So we'll have a portable ultrasound scanner that you can put your heel in, and they can scan your bone density that way, because your bone density in your heel is much like that in your hip. So they can use that and then determine if you might have any abnormalities, and then if so, they can refer you and give you advice on how to move forward.
Okay, that sounds good. So heart disease, we're gonna get the blood pressures, and, you know, we could utilize the student nurses for that.
Yeah.
Get practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd get the practice, and they'd be able to, you know, have some interaction with our elderly population. The last one on our list is HIV and AIDS.
That's a big one. For that, I'd make sure we had, they might not wanna think about it, but to have like condoms and stuff like that, because even though a lot of people don't like to think about older adults having sex, it does happen, and they need to be aware that they can get HIV/AIDS, and they need to still use protection even though they can't get pregnant. They can still get STDs.
What about if we took those condoms and maybe did a pack of maybe 4 of them and put them, wrapped them up, or found some type of a box or something, and then on the tag that we put on there, you know, kind of make it pretty, and then on the tag on there put the gift of life or something like that.
Yeah.
Vendor letters, we've already talked about the vendors that we want to utilize. So we'll just need to get letters out to them, follow them up with phone calls in about a week.
Yeah.
With our flyers, we had decided that we're going to put them at senior centers, assisted living centers, the YMCA,
Advertise.
and we're gonna advertise on TV and
Radio.
radio.